cheating's dumb. And here's why cheating's dumb. You cheat in high school, it's gonna only accomplish one thing for you. You're gonna wind up with a grade on your test that's a grade you didn't deserve because it says you know stuff that you don't actually know. And what's the purpose of that? Well, it's gonna help you get a grade on your transcript for the class that shows that you can do things that you can't actually do. And the only purpose of that is to get you into a college where other people didn't cheat to get there, so they know what they're doing. But you got there by pretending you knew what you were doing, so you're gonna surround yourself with people who know more than you do because you cheated to find a way to pretend like you knew more things than you knew. So you get into that college, and what are your only options then? Cheat. Because you gotta keep up with these people who know what they're doing and you don't. So you'll be forced to continue cheating in college, which means you're gonna have to copy off the people around you, hopefully not get kicked out of college, but cheat your way through. In the end of that process, you're gonna wind up with a degree that says you can do something that you don't actually know how to do. So you're gonna get a job which is gonna require to do things that you don't know how to do. So what's your only option gonna be in that job? Cheat. You're gonna have to continue cheating. You're gonna have to look over the top of the wall of the cubicle at the guy next door to see what he's doing. You're gonna have to copy what he's doing. Of course, he's gonna innovate. He's gonna come up with ideas. He's gonna get promoted and he's gonna get out of that cubicle. But you, no, you're not gonna be able to innovate. You're not gonna be able to do that because you don't know what you're doing, because your degree came from a school where you didn't know what you were doing to get through that school because you cheated in high school to get there in the first place. Which means everybody around you is gonna continue getting promoted, move on with their lives, do something bigger and better and get up to that corner office with the window. But you, no, you're gonna be stuck in your cubicle forever. And why? Because you cheated. It's stupid.
I cheated all throughout high school. Not only that, but I graduated as a valedictorian, national AP scholar, editor-in-chief of the school newspaper, and I was accepted into the honors program at a school which will be withheld. This student, who wrote to The Atlantic, confirms what many of us already know. Oftentimes, cheaters prosper. But there's always the risk of getting caught and losing everything, and there's also the effects that it can have on the mentality of other students who choose to be academically honest. Cheating is rampant in all levels of education, with by far the majority of students having admitted to cheating at some point. Has cheating molded into the essential method for students to live by? We look to find out what motivates cheating, its effects on individuals, and what are the best ways to prevent it and encourage academic honesty. More to come on this episode of This Redmond Life. After asking students at RHS from different walks of life 2 questions, what they assume the percentage of students that cheat at RHS is, and if they themselves have participated in any form of cheating. On average, it is assumed that 91% of students participate in any form of cheating, given the student estimates. Additionally, 86% of students answered that they themselves have participated in any form of cheating. The lopsided results of the survey show how the majority of the school actually participates in cheating and believe that other students cheat. Given the high value of students that confess to cheating, it shows that cheating at RHS really is a prevalent issue. This shows that students would rather make a Faustian bargain which they presume to determine success and take the possibly large consequence than do the work themselves. It's kind of funny to think that so many students would risk so much on a day-to-day basis. All the horror stories of students getting caught cheating would be scary to some, yet it happens so frequently. Why do students cheat? We interviewed anonymous students this question, along with a few others, to further dive into the epidemic of cheating.
My definition of cheating is taking someone else's work and using it as your own. Sometimes you miss school a lot, you get too far behind, and teachers' expectations are way too high, so I have to cheat to keep up. Yeah, I feel cheating was worth it. I could get the same out of the class, but by doing less work, because I think busy work's pointless these days. Think about it like this. There's not one student who hasn't cheated at some point. And between all the busy work and everything else they've done, the the school system just molds you right into a cheater. Alright, so we had a lab due the next class. Lunch freshly started. I had 30 minutes to copy a 120-point lab that people have been working on for 2 days. Did I know the material? Yeah. Did I have to do the whole lab? No. Your boy got 100% on it though. It just happens. Like, have you ever gone to school and been like, oh, damn, the quiz was there, or we have a quiz, or our lab's due, or whatever? Like, yeah, obviously you're gonna cheat. Like, what are you gonna do? Leave class? Maybe, but you could just cheat and just get yourself out of it, and then for the next time you learn, or you just cheat again. No big deal.
With college admissions getting harder and harder, the expectations put on students are constantly growing. However, is someone supposed to have the time to play a sport or have a job, have additional extracurricular activities, have hobbies and a social life, get a healthy amount of sleep, and get all the busy work for their classes done? Most people cannot manage to balance all of these without taking shortcuts. Cheating is one of the most common shortcuts taken, and anyone who knows these circumstances is aware of how tempting that option can be. But it also hurts their peers who choose to be honest, and can crush the work ethic of those who choose not to cheat. If someone can cheat and get an equal or better grade than an honest student, then what's the point of doing your own work? Cheating begets more cheating, and our studies show that this cycle has enveloped most of the school. As it currently stands, cheating seems to be an easy choice for many students. While currently the pros appear to far outweigh the cons, cheating is a very real impact on the psyche of students who choose the authentic route in their academic careers. While we know what most students think about the art of cheating, teachers, on the other hand, think differently of it and react differently when it happens. When cheating takes place, the student takes a risk of getting caught. When they are caught, the teachers react with punishment. However, teachers have different views on cheating, what qualifies as cheating, how to punish cheating, and why students cheat. We interviewed 3 teachers about their personal experiences and policies with cheating.
I think cheating is a lot more common than I think it is. Does that make sense? I mean, I run across it every now and then. We all do. I'd like to believe that it doesn't happen often at all, and when it does, I catch it, but I can't help but think that more of it happens than I'll ever know. So I think there is a fine line between cheating and working together. Right now, if I assign a homework assignment, I want students to work together, to come up with ideas. If something doesn't make sense, heck yeah, you ask somebody how to do it. Now there's a big difference between that and asking somebody what the answer is, or copying down the answer. I'm a guilt tripper. I think that's what I do best. In the scenarios in the past where I've caught a cheater, I've waited till the test was finished. I watched very carefully to make sure I knew exactly what they were doing and how. And then I pull them aside after the test and ask them if they would like to explain how they got an answer to a similar question. Or I ask them something that will get them squirming. I want people to respond that, okay, I don't know, I cheated. So if somebody tells me they cheated, that's gonna go down a whole lot better than if I tell them I caught you cheating, not telling me first. So I look for an admission. I think that the existence of cell phones and cell phone cameras make cheating a whole lot easier than it ever was before. I mean, the good old days where your only option was to write all the test answers on your arm and have to pull them up during the middle of the test without getting caught. That's very different than a subtle look down at your cell phone sitting on your lap. I don't think cheating is natural. I think it's a learned behavior, and I think it's a learned shortcut that a lot of people think will help them a lot more than It was the day of the physics final, rather, and I got myself in a position where I could see it was a list of letters, A through E, in a row from somebody who had already taken the test. In that case, I didn't even give her the final. I just took her PJ and said, we'll talk after class. I blame pressure for cheating. The pressure that maybe that's because of the school system, maybe that's because of peers, more likely it's because of colleges and transcripts and the desire to make oneself perfect for future's sake. I think that we are creating a culture where perfection is so important that if somebody feels like they can't perform to that level, they're gonna find a way to pretend they can. And that's a bummer, but it's not one that I think is going to change. And it's pretty real. I mean, it's the business world, jobs, life in general. It's something that I think we have created as a society as a whole, not just a school culture.
Teachers, understandably, see cheating in a more broad and long-term sense. If you get into the habit of cheating, it will stifle your ability to problem solve and do work honestly. Skills that are needed in the work environment in the long haul, cheating will harm your ability to perform in a working environment. But keeping with the idea of long-term success, one of the most important things to consider is getting into a good college program. Grades are a crucial factor to this, and sometimes the only way to maintain grades is to engage in academic dishonesty. Some cheat to cruise ahead lazily, but some do it to secure their own future. There's no simple way to deal with cheating in the classroom. Even if caught, there's only so much a teacher can do to dole out punishment. From what we've gathered through our conversations with teachers and students, there are a couple ways to prevent cheating in individual classrooms. One is making sure that the students in the classroom are able to do their work for the class in a reasonable time manner, so they don't feel forced to choose between classworks and their other activities. On a similar note, make it so if the student puts in enough effort, they are able to receive a good grade in a class so they don't have to urge to cheat during tests that they are struggling in. In conjunction with this, teachers should have the authority to punish those who choose to take advantage of this system. This will encourage those to stay within the system to continue to remain honest. But the most effective way to discourage cheating is to develop a strong personal connection with students. People don't like betraying those who they care about. And if a teacher is able to develop a type of relationship where there's a strong mutual respect, the incentive not to cheat becomes much stronger. It is unreasonable to expect every student and teacher to have this kind of relationship, but it seems to be the most well-founded path to keep students honest. Given how crucial high school is to many people's future success, it's no surprise that people will do whatever it takes to achieve success. There's no doubt that some use cheating simply as a way to cruise through school, using dishonest methods to stay on par with their peers, while putting in a half of the effort. But given that there are many determined and driven individuals that have admitted to cheating, and the sweeping scale of academic dishonesty at RHS, it is clear that the issue is deeper than laziness. From our off-the-record conversations with fellow students, we know that the hyper-competitive nature at RHS specifically creates an environment where to stay ahead of some people, they feel they have no other option than to resort to dishonest methods. As for what needs to be done, any realistic person knows that cheating will always occur at any high school, but there are ways to limit and discourage it. A bigger carrot and a bigger stick is needed to create an environment where honesty is rewarded. Too often, cheaters go unscathed, and the threat of punishment for getting caught seems to be lower than ever. Without the real threat of consequence, there's no real reason for people to not participate. But, on the flip side, there is much that the school system can do to fix this problem through addressing the illness, not the symptom. While the broad-scale reform would of course be the best solution, we know that that is unrealistic. On an individual level, it seems that many students refrain from cheating in classes where they have a personal connection with their teachers and peers. People generally don't want to take advantage of those who they feel connected to, and there's much more that school communities can do to foster camaraderie in the classroom. Increasing the ways that students can trade effort for grades would also lower the desire to cheat in those who feel it is the only way to get the grades they need. At the end of the day, there might never be a way to stop cheating, given the nature of the world we live in. But there is so much more we can do to support and reward those who choose to go down an honest path. Perhaps that is the way to create a better world, to stop focusing on how to stop the bad and more onto how to foster the growth of the good.